Less than 24 hours till this game, Michigan at Michigan State, a battle that could settle the Big Ten or give one of the teams this opportunity to sneak into a playoff game even if they don't win the conference. So, a lot on the line for Jim Harbaugh, Mel Tucker's teams tomorrow in East Lansing. A lot on the plate for you and I as fans, and you Michigan State fans. I don't care about what you guys are thinking. So for the Michigan fans watching the show, hopefully it's the majority of this one. I want to make sure you guys go down and type Beat MSU in the comments. I'll give Michigan State fans some credit. They have represented in the comments section. Most of them have been cordial, but there have been a few I've had to block or delete or hide because they're just a little too, some making comments about my mother, making comments about, it's just unnecessary stuff. Nevertheless, make sure they feel unwelcome today, all morning as they're watching Michigan State videos, etc. on YouTube, and then, come back after the game, hopefully for Michigan, and make sure you say, Michigan State, you guys suck. So type Beat MSU down in the comments. We're going to take your questions. Pulled some questions from recent videos because I didn't have a ton of time to respond to everybody, so I thought, you know what, I'll grab about a dozen or so, 6-7 questions, answer them right here on the show. So Bohannon94 in all caps, so he really means it. Please don't wear the white pants. Come on, Yoder, pitch the blue with white pants. We listen to you. We've been pretty spot on with Michigan uniform, Maize pants, blue pants, Maize pants. We listen to you. We've been pretty spot on when it comes to Michigan football uniforms over the past few years. Got a little inside source on this stuff. So question one, a lot of uniform comments out there, so I'm going to kind of bucket all of them together. Next one coming up from Sebastian Basie said, since they're wearing the dark green, and then they being Michigan State, should we bring out the all-maize uniforms? Now, these are the uniforms that Michigan State will wear. That's one of the pictures. There's a video out there that shows them, but you guys know what these are. It's the all-green jerseys, all green pants, of course, and then the all green Spartan helmet with the white Spartan on the side. So Michigan State wearing those uniforms. So the question from Sebastian is like, hey, can Michigan wear the all maize? Technically, they're not allowed to. And so Michigan State would have to have some sort of deal with Michigan that they'd allow that neither team would get penalized, et cetera, et cetera. And then Alex comes in this morning, white jerseys, maize pants for Saturday with an exclamation point, so not a question. So I think he has seen the same fever pitch of internet rumors, and I am very confident. We're not doing a rumors or a Harbaugh head show here, so I'm not giving it 4 Harbaugh heads, but if we did, I would give it 4 Harbaugh heads. Expect Michigan to be wearing the white jerseys tomorrow, as standard for a road game, but going back to the maize pants for only the second time in the tenure of Jim Harbaugh. So that is the word, so expect Michigan to wear white jerseys, maize pants tomorrow, but now this will be the third set of pants they've worn this year. So I want to ask you guys, settle the debate, be the voice of the Michigan football fan base, the community. Type down in the comments, which road pants do you prefer? M for maize, type W for white, type B for blue. I'll pin this comment right below the video, so scroll down. You might get hit with an ad break now, so if you do, I'll give you some time to scroll down, type that. By the time you come back up, ad should be over, on with the show. Next up, on this topic, and just so I'm clear, let's retire the white pants. I don't think Michigan's looked good in them for the last 4, 5, 6 years under Jim Harbaugh. I certainly don't think they look really good against Nebraska. I thought there was a downgrade uniforms from the uniforms they wore the week prior, the white jerseys and the blue pants, which I thought looked phenomenal, right? Go blue, wear blue pants. Now, if you're going to wear maize pants, I'm fine with that too. The home pants, just wear them all the time. But I like what they're doing here. I guess they're letting the players, they have some leadership council, pick the uniforms, whether it's for home, for away, etc. They pick the all blues against Washington. They pick the blue pants against Wisconsin, the white pants at Nebraska. So shout out to the Leadership Council for mixing it up. I do think Michigan should do this. If they keep the white pants and don't end up retiring them like I think that they should, then maybe rotate it. You've got 5, 6 away games a year. Just wear each pair of pants 1 or 2 times and maybe pick the most special games to wear the maize or wear the blue, whatever it is. So that is the word on uniforms. Want to make sure you guys follow me on Twitter because I'm going to be tweeting up a storm tomorrow morning during the game. So I'm going to make you guys this deal. The first 10 people who follow me after this video is published, I'm going to give you a shout out on a show tomorrow, on our post-game show, which will be out 30 minutes or so after the Michigan State game, and I will follow back the first 10 people who follow me on Twitter at James Yoder before it has to happen before kickoff tomorrow against Michigan State, noon Eastern on Fox. Next question coming up from here we got Mr. Green is the stuff. I'm not sure if he's talking about uniforms. His little one of these. Hey, no big deal for if that's what he's doing. That's his medicine. Michigan will control the turnover game, but MSU will have 1 or 2 more explosive plays on offense than Michigan. It's such an even match that ultimately Michigan's defense and run game will win it. This is Mike Macdonald's, folks, in a lot of ways, Mike Macdonald's first test. Interesting question, interesting observation. I think Mr. Green stuff is a Michigan State fan, right? And he would know better than probably most Michigan fans if he's watched every single game. Like I know that, I'm hoping that you guys know as the audience that this Michigan State team has struggled more than Michigan so far this year. Let's be clear on that. They have had closer games. They have had played down to more opponents, but they've got a couple nice wins out there. But they live and die on the explosive play. And that's through the air. They've got a couple really good wide receivers, maybe three you could say, could start for Michigan. And they've got what many people consider one of the best 2 or 3 running backs in the country right now in Kenneth Walker with 1,000 yards. But he's an explosive play guy there as well. I think Michigan is, what I said on yesterday's show, is their best bet to win this game is to, if you give up 1 or 2 explosive plays, like Mr. Green is the stuff says, I think I'd rather see it happen through the passing game than let the running game go off, because then if you're running the ball, everything opens up. And if you guys want to open up the wallets and get hooked up for it, get going with our sportsbook partner, BetUS, chatsports.com/GoBlue. I must emphasize this point. You've got to use that link. The internet's a series of tubes. You got to track things, and so when you want to track things, you got to use the right URL. So just type that into your browser. When you make your first deposit with our sportsbook partner, BetUS, use the promo code GoBlue, 125% deposit bonus. And if you make a first bet before Sunday, email us, jersey@chatsports.com, to get this Michigan football Maize jersey. We already had a situation today. Got a lot of you guys have taken the advantage of this deal this week. Guy today, well, I didn't use the link. I just Googled Chat Sports, this and that, and then it gets somewhere, whatever it is. If you don't use the link, it becomes a customer service nightmare for us to give you the jersey. So just go to chatsports.com/GoBlue, hit enter, get going with BetUS, use the promo code GoBlue. $100 deposit, make your first deposit, make a bet by Sunday. Email jersey@chatsports.com to get hooked up. We'll send you the jersey, not BetUS, so make sure to email jersey@chatsports.com. Mike M. coming in with a question, a Michigan State fan. He says, MSU fan who thinks if UMich can throw the ball with authority, they have, they have it, I guess. Okay, MSU secondary is suspect, right? This is the 121st best secondary in the country, right? They're giving up almost 300 yards per game passing. That is not an anomaly. This isn't a COVID year where, you've got 3 or 4 weeks off because a few teams cancel or you've got a COVID scare. It's not some anomaly. This is 7 games in now. They are giving up almost 300 yards per game passing. And so I agree with you. Michigan has got to, if they're not going air raid, which they should not go away with what works this year, they should go in spurts where they're just catching Michigan State off guard. That's throwing on first down. That's throwing potentially 4 or 5 plays in a row, and mix in 1 or 2 deep passes in there. Mix in a pass or 2 to the tight end, whatever it is. Have a tight end run a route up the seam that they really have gone away from this year in general. So I'll put the number at this for Cade McNamara. I said as my keys of the game, if he throws for over 225, I think it's a key to the game for Michigan winning. So let me know. Will Cade McNamara throw for over 225 tomorrow or under? So go down in the comments, give me an O for over or a U for under for Michigan's starting quarterback, undefeated starting quarterback this year, Cade McNamara. Question coming in from Lace Dog. Interesting name. Little clothing, lace. Is a lace guy, maybe a lingerie, maybe it's a lady, you never know. And then Dog. Harbaugh has to win this game or he'll probably get fired. And so I put this one in there because I've seen a lot of people, even the biggest Michigan fans, still questioning Jim Harbaugh, whether or not he's going to be the coach next year, whether or not he's proven. And I disagree with this take because I have seen a lot of people say it. I think Harbaugh is fine as long as 2 things don't happen. Maybe we should put a little asterisk on there. I'm going to get with the graphics team. We'll design a little Chat Sports asterisk on there. He's fine if he loses this game, I think. I think he's fine if he also loses Ohio State. No one wants him to. That would be not great. Ohio State fans, let's continue to rub it in Michigan's face. But if those are your only 2 losses and they are not utter blowouts or just embarrassing performances by Michigan, let's say you would lose this one on the road by 10 points or less, and Michigan looked good, competitive, good game plan. And let's say you lose Ohio State, but it's like, 45-38 or something like that, or 41. But if you feel in the fourth quarter Michigan with one more drive has a chance, I think Harbaugh's fine. Now, if you get blown out in one or more of those games, then I'm like, if you lose them both, and if you lose another one, if you lose to Penn State in the road, right? Penn State might have 3 losses going into Michigan's game in a couple weeks because they play Ohio State Saturday night. That's their third loss, right? I think it'll be 3 in a row or 3 of the last 4, whatever it is. Already the third Big Ten loss for them. Iowa, Illinois, then it'll be Ohio State. You can't lose that game if you're Jim Harbaugh. So then if you've got 3 losses, Penn State, it's like, okay, same old Harbaugh. This is all we get. And frankly, if you lose either of those other 2, Maryland or Indiana, then I do think he's on the hot seat. And I actually think Harbaugh really has to win a bowl game this year. No matter if he wins against Ohio State, etc., this streak of not winning a bowl game since the 2015 season has got to end. But if you lose this game, I don't think there's any calls for hot seat as long as it's competitive and you don't, completely get embarrassed in any other games this year. Now, want to ask you guys, get us to 16,000 subscribers. If you haven't subscribed to the show, but you've watched in the past, that means you're coming back for a second time. You're enjoying what you see, so thank you for watching. Please subscribe to the channel. And if you know any Michigan football fans that you think would want a little dose of reality, some of the other media members out there are selling you a bill of goods, some snake oil salesmen. We give it to you straight. If you want your friends to live in reality and not the web of lies that some other media members put out there, have them subscribe to the Michigan Football Report, youtube.com/Michigan TV. Kenneth Verkest, thank you for the comment on a recent video. If Michigan would play one running back, the one running back for Michigan would have more yards than Kenneth Walker. Good take, right? Because Michigan's 2 running backs are Hassan, Haskins, Blake Corum, are well over 1,000 yards right now, and combined have 20 touchdowns to Kenneth Walker's 9 touchdowns. So, sure, but think about it from this perspective. Michigan State's wide receivers, right? Their top 2 guys have 5 touchdowns, 6 touchdowns. I think Michigan's top, as Cornelius Johnson has 2 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns, and then there's not really many touchdowns. Dalen Baldwin has a couple scrub time touchdowns. But I don't like this take because I don't think either one of Michigan's guys have proven that they are a guy who can get 250 yards in a game like Kenneth Walker has done 2 or 3 times this year. And I think it's probably, with the workhorse level, those guys are each getting 18, 19, 16, 20 carries per game for Michigan. So no Michigan running back's going to get 40 or 45 carries every game. So in theory, Michigan's run the ball a little bit better potentially than their one guy, but it has taken a 2-man effort to do because Michigan runs the ball the 6th highest of any team, percentage-wise, of any team in college football. Next question coming in from Rex Mason. I think it's our last question for the day, but stick around. I got one more thing for you here at the end of the show. If Coach Tucker wasn't planning on leaving, he would have said so in his interview. The guy is gone. Good point. Same for James Franklin, right? He fumbled some words. He said he was going to play Illinois in the big house, right? They just played Illinois. They lost to him. Ohio State's not the big house, and so he's got all things over. And he wouldn't commit. James Franklin wouldn't. He said, what did he say was the quote? It was like, it's complicated right now, or, yada, yada. And Mel Tucker, if he had no interest, he probably would just come out there and do the old Nick Saban when he was with Miami. He's like, you want me to say it? I'm not going to be the Alabama coach. I'm not going to be the LSU coach. But he didn't. Think about when Jim Harbaugh was the 49ers. He was getting bombarded for 3 straight months with questions about the Michigan job after it was clear Brady Hoke was going to get fired after the year, and his situation with the 49ers was coming undone, ownership disputes, etc. Harbaugh had the best one. He was like, I'm sure you would like to have no more information about that, but I've got a rule. I only talk about the job I have. Next question, right? Shut it down forever, and really no one had the opportunity. He's like, hey, check this guy. Get this guy's ears checked. I only talk about the job I have. Boom, on, done. These coaches aren't doing it. Leaves a little bit open to continued speculation amongst fans, media, but most importantly, maybe his players. One more request, though. Follow me on Twitter at James Yoder. I'm going to follow back the first 10 people to do so before kickoff. I'll put the link down to my Twitter account in the comments of this video and in the description. If you forget it, when I come back later, it's down there in the video. Click on it, follow me, follow back, and I'll give you guys a shout-out on our Saturday post-game show. Let's get a win versus Michigan State. Go Blue.